All right, everybody, here we go. Part 2 for the Happy Aloha Friday stream. I may have barbled my words there because I just got through burning my mouth on some quiche. You know, our quiche Lloran. Yeah, that's what we got over here for my neighbor. I thought I'd be all fancy and heat up some quiche, and instead I ended up getting a second-degree burn on my palate. Anyhow, I'm going to nosh on this in a little bit. So we're going to pick up where we left off. We are going to spin ourselves up on a Wheel of Cheese choice here. If you're new here to the stream and you're lurking, you want to get involved in this Wheel of Cheese spinning, which is, donos. I just spin the wheel. If it lands on you, we do your song. There is a form that's tacked up on the top of the chat, and the only rule is nothing longer than 7 minutes. Otherwise, it's an automatic punt. So here we go. Let's see what we got here for our Wheel of Cheese spin before we get into our usual suspects that I mentioned earlier, that as we continue our dono run here. So let me see. That's Park Pals, our last winner. Let's see what we got here now. Not too bad of Wheel of Cheesy here. And so we're not in Queso Pobre land, but almost getting there. You guys ready? Let's go. And the winner is, oh, how about that? Puka Camosa. Puka Camosa. Hi, sorry. Ooh, it's still warm. So what do we got here? You did almost win, Skeletank. You were right on top of it. So Puka Camosa. Let's see what we got here. Didn't Puka Camosa do a 40K and didn't get in? I don't know how that worked, but he's in it, so we're in it. We're in it to win it. Let's see what we got here. Puka Camosa would like us to do a track from a band called Laibach. Is that a thing? So this song is called B Mashina from Laibach, from Puka Camosa. All I know about this song is that the original song is Slovenian, and this is an English version of it. Also, some version of the song was used in a movie, Iron Sky. I don't know what the genre of this would be. All right, so we're doing this for Puka Camosa, the winner of our Wheel of Cheese. Let's go. As I eat my quiche. Thanks, 1 a.m.
Only 1 day is left. Only 1 day. We are leaving the others. We are going away. Today we all steer. Animals we are. Possession is lost.
Is this from a movie or something, guys?
Our souls are from the wild, and wings to reach the sky. Let the sun fall into the ocean.
Iron Sky.
Let the
That's right. You mentioned that
in flame. It is enough to have the strength and knowledge to raise our dream machines into the sky.
Kind of a light-handed Trent Reznor vibe.
Let them sleep who do not know. The final day is here. The very last, and we leave at dawn. There is no force, no money, and no power to stop us now and change our fate. Now every problem is destroyed.
I like how the accent on the narrative has a pseudo-Russian vibe to it.
Into the universe, towards the stars we go.
Oh, this is great. This actually would make some great Doom game music.
We are sending to the skies above us all, and leave behind those who don't know of the final day. We leave in sleep those who don't know we leave at dawn. We are driven by the bee machine, wild bee machine that never stops.
Machines reascending through the skies, above us all and leave behind those who don't know of the final day.
They're building into this like brutal death march. I really did like this track. As a matter of fact, it gave me a little bit of a, let's just say, a creative influence and an idea for something that I'm doing. Like I go, oh wow, that would be a great idea to do a narrative instead of worrying about writing a melody. As long as it has this kind of darker kind of vibe to it. Da 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 da. That cadence that was happening there went through the whole track. Excuse me, sorry about that. But it was a really nice build. And I like the eighth note. There was kind of a synth bass line that was going down in there, but had a little sizzle to it. So it kind of matched the darkness of the tone of the voice, even without the video. Excuse me, because I had mentioned earlier, it almost sounds like the narrator has a little bit of a Eastern Bloc kind of accent. Well, of course, I'm not as linguistic. I like linguistic in clams and with white sauce, but not organic linguistic. I'm trying, guys. I'm trying. You're making jokes. It definitely sounded like it was some kind of a death marchy thing, but I guess this is something that somebody had written down that this is the like some Nazi-style warriors or something like that end up going to the moon or something and building another kind of civilization up there of sorts and stuff. But it had that death dark march to it. And I really dug that. And thank you so much. Ta-da! Okay. Let's go back to our regular, donations and get ourselves stepped back up. La Cremosa, you are up. La Cremosa would like us to check out. And like usual, thank you so much. And happy Aloha Friday to you. Very kind, Donna. Oh, another one from Propagandhi. He knows how to bring it. That's what I'm talking about. The song is Iteration. Oh, he has ourselves a little bit of a message here for us. I apologize in advance for this, but it's very difficult to divorce politics from punk sometimes. Don't have to apologize. That's how music gets us through some of this bullshit. This song is a speculative fiction about Donald Rumsfeld's standing trial for war crimes, as is the closing track from the 2005 record Potemkin City Limits. I'm sorry. It was some of my favorite bass lines and tone in the latter half. It has some of my favorite that latter half of the track. In other news, Propagandhi's new album is only a week away. Ah, good. We can look forward to that. All right, guys, let's do this. This is from La Cremosa. Thank you. Propagandhi, and the name of the song is Iteration. All right.
War crimes will be prosecuted. War criminals will be punished.
Who's that comedian? Wait.
And it will be no defense to say I was just following orders.
Oh, it's not a comedian. It's the actual. It is Bush. I knew it. I was going.
Through the proceedings, as tinselled through the canvas that cloaked his twisted face stained. His orange jumpsuit wear with such rare distinction he was displayed. The evidence of the standing retributions. The maintenance of a kingdom come. Those days are gone. Nothing more than a number on a docket thing with shareholders and engineers. The emperor's politicians for privateers. How the fuck did I end up here? It just isn't fair. Ain't the place for a billionaire. And he searches for the words. Stop this table in mid-turn like we're muddled men. We only did what we were told. Nothing from the gallery, just enough messages.
I love how they're using seconds, fourths, and ninths in their chord configurations here.
The core will direct the record to reflect compliments from the bench. Central castings crowning achievement. The outstanding performance in a comedic role. I'd like to thank the findings of the joint to the
Wow, great production here.
I can one man ever repay and then to appalling. Take out 10,000 eyes from a single head so wide.
As punky and punchy as it is, it's so musical. Ooh, the bass player getting up on that neck. Yeah, you're right about that bass work, man. This guy's got a great performance too, man. His vocals are insane.
Inevitable waves of inevitable waves of
This is a really great section. I love this. They're very musical here. Jeez. Great sound on the toms. Jesus. These guitar players are absolutely killing it. Nice arrangement choice. Oh, I love that ending. Whoever produced this killed it. Lacrimosa, do you know who did the production on this? The producing was on fire, man. Love the musicianship too, and this definitely had all the fire and angst of punk, and angst of what punk was all about. But they were so musical, and they were dinking around with seconds and fourths and ninths in their chord voicings, resolving them really fast and all that. And they also and that solo work of that guitar player, it could be once again musicians that have, that certain level of musicianship and talent, but they love punk. And to stay true to the punk sound, you play this fast, you vocalize this way, you choose certain chords in there, but it's always great. It's like listening to Avenged Sevenfold or Between the Buried and Me and stuff like that, where these guys, they just have these moments in every single song where they like to shine a little, put a little bit of that angel dust of super creativity on all their tracks, and to me, this was one of them. Lacrimosa, reading your comment that you just wrote here about the Afghan invasion, kind of makes sense now. But the fact that you turned that, like I read that and listened to the lyrics on that, and I get what that's all about. I'm sorry, guys. I just recognized the voice at the beginning, and I think because they put the laugh track after it, I'm going, I know this guy's voice. Why do I know this guy's voice? Is he a comedian? I'm thinking, is it Bill Burr or who is it? And then, of course, it was George Bush. And, of course, through his years, there was all kinds of little war things going on. But anyhow, the track I thought was a smash. And I look forward to the Propagandhi album coming out. How long, Lacrimosa, how long has this band been together? It looks like this particular track was released 5 years ago, at least on their YouTube website, which doesn't necessarily mean since the 80s. Wow. And they're still doing it. And they're performing, it looks like June 28th in Portland, Oregon. And the song came out in 2005. Okay. God bless these guys getting up there and still pumping it out like that, Hang on for a second. Second track today that made it to my playlist. Okay, I look forward to listening to the whole album. Lacrimosa, you must be just that short from 140K, right? In channel points. I have a funny feeling maybe this is the album we do. Anyhow, Lacrimosa, thank you for bringing it out to us Cados, to the Cados and the Abbacado. I'm just saying. SB, how are you, B? It is time for you, B, SB. Hey, how are you, SB? RESBECB, SBSBSBB. So, let's see what SB would like us to check out. This is the band called Big Noter. The name of the song is Identify. And the message is, morning, Abba and the Cados. Remember, she's in Australia, so it's morning. Well, maybe it's almost lunch now. Something a bit different for me today. This is a new project by Briggs, a Yorta man. Well, I don't know what that means. Their first live performance was inducting Tom Morello, we all know that, Rage Against the Machine, into the IRA Hall of Fame this past week, and I believe Tom played with them as well. Briggs has predominantly been hip-hop artist, solo, and an AB original, but he has stated that he's going back into his heavier roots with the Big Noter project. Briggs is also a writer for Matt Groening and Netflix's Disenchantment Joy. All right, that was a nice little lead up into this track. Okay, SB, let's go. Do we do our mosh pit thing? Is this where we get ready? Is this not going to be a moshy pitty thing? I don't know. Let's go. I love the subtle little ghost notes. Oh, that bass carrying that bottom. Oh, Aboriginal Australian. That's what that means. Okay.
Always will be, always was. Look me in the eye when I ask you some more. These words hit when you know where you're from. You showed me you belong. Got the head off a snake, another rat take his place. Everywhere we look, another fake. Everywhere we look, another claim. Fuck DNA. Who's your fan? Who's your mom? What's your name? what you want, what you want. You're gonna get what you wrote, what you wrote. You're gonna get what you want, what you
Like
want.
Rage Against the Machine, Peppers.
Take back identity. Show strength in the face of your enemy. Take back identity.
No System of a Down.
Face of your enemy. Take back identity. Take back. Take back.
Oh, Yoda is the name of the country. Okay, got it.
Take back. Always moving. Always was. Look at me in the eye.
Listen to how the bass banging just keeps us together. And a little bit of the Beastie Boys vibe. I love that. Take back your identity.
Can you be that person when nobody's watching? Can you be that person when nobody's watching? Are you that
Yeah, I can see that, SB. No two ways about it. I was thinking about this when I was listening to it.
Can you be yourself if nobody's watching? Let's take it back to the start. Show me who you are. Let's take it back to the start. Show me who you are. Let's take it back to the start. Let's take it back to the start. Let's go back to the start. Show me who you are. Show me who you are. Show me who you are. Take back identity. Take back. Take back. Take back identity. Take back. Take back. Take back identity. Show strength in the face of your enemy. Take back identity. Show strength in the face of your enemy. Take back identity. Show me who you are. Take back identity. Take back.
They beat the shit out of that riff into our heads, and it was such a great messaging there because, I mean, the whole cultural identity battle of what's happening around the world, you know, is louder and louder now, and justifiably so in my world, the way, you know, in all things considering too. I live here in Hawaii, and I teach, you know, Native Hawaiian culture at this nonprofit. So I'm very steeped into the hard history of indigenous peoples. Nonetheless, though, that energy of the Rage Against the Machine, the Chili Peppers, a little bit of the Beastie Boys, just since I don't know how, I don't have a good depth of artists to pull from, but it almost sounded like, I don't know who came first, actually. I don't know if that Beastie Boys, what they did at the beginning was an influence that maybe Rage Against the Machine, or did they all come out around the same time, you know, in that 80s movement and stuff like that. That whole that went through the whole track is what kind of pulls you into a hypnotic vibe tribally. So what I love about this track is that this track is about, oh, so the Beastie guys are first, okay. This track is about, you know, recouping, you know, recovering the identity and stuff like that. But the hypnotic, tribal, percussive approach, even though this was, you know, darker metal, heavier metal track, that whole thing still boils back into a rhythmical pattern. You know, and you just can't help but get sunk into it. You know, I liked that I was able to look at the lyrics on this, but the whole thing for me I started thinking of other tracks that I've heard in the past that have tribal implications. You know, for many, I mean, if you think about it, a lot of stuff that we've heard has tribal or cultural implications in storytelling, whether you're listening to more of the ambient stuff from, oh my God, what's the name of that band from northern UK, Wilderum or something, you know. Everybody has their own identity, or the Who from Mongolia or something, you know. There's what's unique about this is that each one of these cultural presentations of artists and bands who are talking about their identities and their cultures and what's happened and stuff have a very hypnotic approach in doing it. And I think that actually pulls from the roots of each individual culture. You know, that's just me just riffing right now, but that's just how I kind of feel about it. When I listen to music from cultures from around the world, I kind of can feel like a long tail pull of the older style, let's say percussive history storytelling of these indigenous people that would be predominantly percussive and single or harmonic vocals. You know, major instruments, if you would. So anyhow. So yeah, that's just my vibe. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Hot Chick in a Diaper. You're up next. Do you know that Hot Chick in a Diaper made an appearance here in the chat last week, which I thought was cool, because usually our friend Hot Chick in a Diaper just kind of dives in and says hi, usually on the YouTube channel or something. So that's just kind of what I'm saying. Hot Chick in a Diaper wants to bring to the Kados. This is a band called, okay, I'm not going to get this, and it probably stands for something. RVIVR. I'm just saying. RVIVR. So, and the name of the song is Paper Thin. Maybe that's an acronym for something. If it is, somebody pull me in on that. And the message is from Hot Chick in a Diaper. Everything about this band and song screams raw, but in a good way. Would love to hear your thoughts. Okay, from Hot Chick in a Diaper to us Kados, to the Abba and the Kados. Let's go. No, it's that. Turn up. Oh, I get what you're saying, that raw vibe. Good call. A little more edgier Blondie vibes. I love her vocals, but who does she remind you of? That's what I was thinking. I was going, where? Yeah. Ooh, what a grindy guitar tones. I think when we talk about raw, we're talking less post-work done on it and just taking the raw sounds and getting it right up front and miking it and going straight through the console onto tape or digital. You're right, somebody earlier said that this has got a garbage vibe as well. No, it definitely does have that Seattle vibe for sure. Okay, so what Hot Chick in a Diaper was talking about the raw vibe. First of all, I love the track. And when Hot Chick in a Diaper was talking about the raw vibe, and also I just want to expand on it a little bit, that Retro Gamer and some of the other people, Fentool also had kind of chimed in. It's where you're getting the sounds that you want. And a lot of times these great raw vibes actually are coming from a band in a studio. They might have, there might be a little bit of isolation, like the drummers might be sitting in an ISO booth or behind some plexi or something, but they get all the sounds that they want just the way they want in front of the mics and in front of the line in. And what the engineer is going to do is going to take those sounds and just make sure it sets in a level. And then when it's time to mix it down, they're really going to do as little as possible to rein in the energy of that. Sometimes you do things like you can use compressors to, you know, kind of manage levels and stuff like that. Once you start dicking around with that, you start scooping out, or you start bringing in noise. If you compress too much, the compressor will like cap it a little bit, you know, make it a little more manageable, you know, but depending on what your ratio is, what your threshold is of, you know, of trigger and stuff like that, it can become actually noisy, which can be a thing a little later. You can actually use that to your advantage. But to me, when I think of raw, when I hear this and I think of raw, it's because it just sounds like these guys just set their shit up. They got the tones they wanted out of their amps. And then what the engineer would have done, without a doubt, as stepping in as a professional, is choosing which mics and how they want to mic the amps and stuff like that, different techniques like that, without thinking, what do I have to do in post-production to manage the beast? So a lot of times when you hear me say, man, I just love the way that drum sounds like it's in a small room and it has minimal miking, you know, because that'll give it more of, like, let's say more of a garage bandy sound or something like that, you know. And a lot of that is just, they're not messing around in post. They're not adding reverbs, they're not adding delays, they're not adding all effects. It's about, here's the song, here's what we sound like, this is how we play a musicianship. Plus also other things, a lot of times I find in my experience, that raw sound of bands has a higher volume, not as far as volume that, you know, the level that we listen to, but a higher volume of humanity. Does that make sense? You know, they're playing, you could feel that they're playing live. There's no, you know, necessarily click tracks or going back in and punching a lot of things in. It just sounds like they've rehearsed the shit out of their songs and this is how it's going. So, you know, that's kind of how, yeah, it's not perfect. It's perfect, but it's not perfect. Hot Chick in a Diaper, thank you for that. Always throwing us on a journey, on a conversation when you come in. Much appreciated. Lisa Wolf, you're coming up next. Lisa Wolf would like us to listen to, some more Voodoo Glow Skulls. Lisa, you're on a run. The name of the track is Los Hombres no Lloran. The guys don't cry. Because y'all bitches is what. No, I'm sorry, it doesn't say that. I'm just saying. So, the message is, my goodness, there's just so much to love about these guys. This is from their third album, Put on the Bell Train, May Day 1997, titled Valle de los Locos, Dance of the Crazy. This little track is another absolutely, I have to share at some point, track. This is a track where they really tap more into the roots of ska with a track that is equal parts big band and two-tone ska, but still with the VGS flavor. Sounds like we're making a martini here. I think part of what makes VGS unique within the third wave ska punk is that VGS keeps the parts of the two-tone and the big band ska that most other ska bands throw away. And this mostly instrumental track shows off the absolutely brilliant horn section of that band in a way. You know what I've also loved about this Lisa on our journey and listening through the Voodoo glow skulls is I love the horn arrangements, and they're not over arranged for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, maybe doing more than what's required in order to really get the point across. Doesn't mean that we don't glam in it, but I like the rawness and the authenticity of it. So here we go, guys. This is from Lisa Wolf. The band is Voodoo Glow Skulls, and the name of the song is Los Hombres No Lloran, because we not bitches. That's not what it says. I'm just adding stupid. Here we go. Funny enough, as we just talked about it, this too also has a very raw vibe in its recording. I'm thinking if Quentin Tarantino knew of these guys, he probably would have scored half of that movie or sourced half of that movie he did. Well, I forgot the name of the movie, but you know what I'm talking about. I love the dirt guitar holding the end. N5. Yes, down until dusk. Wow, that's great. You're right. I do love that brass, man. What a great sound of the brass. Man, that was badass instrumental. I was waiting to see if we would get any vocals on it, but then I think you did say it was instrumental here. The brass section, I listened to a little more and got a little more of a happy joy response in my head with it and stuff, because they also there was that one section where they coupled like a bass saxophone. God, I want to say with a wheezy old sounding airball of a tenor sax or something behind it to give it a nice little lo-fi vibe. Obviously it wasn't. The bass sound was really overdriven, and that really kept the bite. What's unique is that the high edge of the bass sound as it was firing off was kind of dancing a little bit, kind of discursively, maybe a little slight phasey cancellation vibe with the edginess of like the brass section kind of battling in the tone up there. So every now and then I caught like a little bit of an over sizzle. That could have seemed like if I dare say it, a sizzly harmonic, if you would, at the very top. And the other thing I liked is how the guitar was holding the and with that more grittier tone. I really like the way it was, the tones they used on the guitar on that. No, these guys, by no stretch of the imagination, are the owners of their sound. with all of the infused ska elements and stuff that you've written about and stuff, and as you've been showing us, this is their own standalone sound. You don't. I don't think I've ever heard anything that. Sorry, I had to get a little something to drink. Anything that comes close to it. I mean, once again, we're only listening to X amount of songs. I'm sure that they have influenced or pushed the envelope of other ska bands to possibly include a little more darker, grittier sounds in this. But I also think that a track like this too, because I don't know, is like I'm listening to this, and as I said earlier, that one movie that Quentin Tarantino did, you know, in the bar, and they were all kind of, you know, zombie-ishy kind of people. This music like this would have been so badass. This has been such a great kind of like ska candy bar or a ska Lazy Susan for me on this on the Abbacado show, listening to different types of it. Sorry, I had to get a little something there. All right. So thank you very much, Lisa. I appreciate that. Speaking of more Spanish, Tonto Corazon, which I know left because it's late, so he had to leave. Nonetheless, we have Tonto Corazon. And Tonto Corazon wants us to listen to another live. He always sends us live stuff. So cool beans. This one is called Reign of Kindo. And the name of the song is Romancing a Stranger. And the requested song is Hope Everybody's Doing Okay. Happy Friday to everybody. This is from Tonto Corazon. Yeah, LA 666. I agree with you. I just wonder if there's any other bands that have that thing going, or if that's their own thing. Sorry, I jump around like I do, because I do. I saw that. Okay, guys, let's go.
Found the roses that I bought her.
Ooh.
She threw them on the street. She doesn't love me. And all the letters that I sent her, she never wrote to say she's thinking of me.
Oh, I love his voice.
And all the words that I could say, all the looks I sent her way to make her love me. With one look upon her face, she puts me in my place. She's not above me. Oh, it's plain enough.
Wasn't expecting that.
She doesn't love me. Oh, but her love is all I
Wow, great infusion of styles here.
Oh, my dear, I have changed the way I speak to please your ears. I listen only to the words that you revere, and I renounce the things I love to draw you near. Tell me, what else would you change? What else do you find strange when you think of me? If you'd give me some more time, I'll be making your design so you can love me. The joke's all quite awful.
Listen to that bass work.
To laugh to a string. Discomfort, but if she looks my way, it's worth the pain. She may tell me she prefers a cup of tea that I despise.
Ooh, nice. I like this rhythm combo.
She may not like my opinion, so in silence they'll reside. But God forbid, she thinks me just a fool. I've carefully played this game to an endless despair. If she says jump, I'll ask how high. Oh, so she'd be mine. And I've earned a few smiles, I've heard a kind word here and there. But I must face the morning air, how pathetic that I care. The romance of
The trumpet player looks like the guy from Snarky Puppy.
She doesn't love me. She doesn't love me. She doesn't love me. How could she love me?
Nice. Oh, that was beautiful. The piano player just did there. What a great opening. And first of all, I want to just, what a great opening and closing of the song where you're starting very acoustic, where you had the violin, or you had the quartet, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, quintet happening there with the piano and a little bit of percussion, the upright bass, well, it's part of the quintet, and the vocals and stuff. And it also closed with that energy, so they sewed it up really nicely. Well, once they started getting into the meat and potatoes, there was a combination of different percussive influences in there that I was really enjoying and pulling with. But they had a very, everything was done live, and I'm assuming that it was a post-mix, perhaps, for master output. And I was able to hear everything really well, but I love the human vibe of it as a live performance. Well, to me, that makes such a difference. Tonto Corazon always brings all of these videos for us to check out, and when is there something else to enjoy when you're taken in by watching the musicians actually playing instruments. You guys hear me say that 1,000 different times. Apparently, I looked him up really quick. So the reign of Kindo, well, they say here, it says it's an American rock band originating from Buffalo, and that their genres are rock, alternative indie. I don't know that I heard rock, alternative indie on this one, that this maybe could have been a step away a little bit. Maybe they were getting a little bit more progressive and fusion-y on this particular track. This track was released 11 years ago. But nonetheless, I don't know if they're still about. Let me take a quick look here. It doesn't say. They say they're still active, but Tonto Corazon, muchas gracias. Increíble. And so yeah, that's my story and I'm sticking to it. I really loved it. I love the track. I love watching musicians have a blast. As I say so, my damn self. DJ Tambor. DJ Tambor. You are up next. There he is. So we're, oh, hey, I think this is our second game bit of music here on this stream. It looks like we're getting into a lot of different music lately in our streams from around the world, which is fantabulous. But this one is from Mass Effect 2. The name of the track is Suicide Mission. And his message is, just like the title of the track says, this song plays during the final moments where the player and his party prepare to embark on a literal suicide mission in order to save the galaxy from the alien invaders. So they're taking one for the team. Okay, guys, let's go. It's a sci-fi game, is it? Okay, thank you. Ow. Oh, I gotta hit the yes, I understand, I can handle button. Okay, there we go. Sounds like an 80s EP way in the back. I love that pattern back there. Nice building. Sorry, that caught me off guard. So it's kind of like what you guys saying is this is like a suicide mission akin to, let's say, like kamikaze type attitude. Everybody all in. So they know they're not coming in. So apparently maybe during the game, this building in the music is them doing what they're doing, but occasionally maybe looking at each other and be like, ooh. Oh, it's a game though, it's not anime. Is this a one-person play or can other players play in with this retro gamer? Yeah, you see, that's what I'm getting, the cinematic value turnip. Single player, okay. I'll have to look at it, CNC. So this music build, though, I mean, this is like, with the marching drum, those vocals coming in, you know, this is like that full charge the hill. Bombs going off on either side of you, you're making it up there, your friend just gets blown away. You know, you're still fighting kind of vibe. It's a great track, but you can hear it's a little rubber stampy to any kind of scenes or anything that have to do with the last final battle. You know, the marching element of the drums and the, you know, go, blah, 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 blah. Now he's made it to the top of the pile, his smoky body with one single flag and looking back at all the death and destruction. I mean, that's what I'm seeing in my head. So a track like this, this is not by any stretch of the imagination, you know, a ding on the composer, but you may have heard me before talk about styles that we just can't get away from. When it comes to, you know, any composer, almost pretty much, unless there is a complete different directive, when you're going to say, okay, this is a battle scene, and this is going to be 3.5 minutes of them charging up, and this is going on, and explosions are going on here, and, you know, and it also depends actually on the cinematic. In this case, I know it's a game, but the composer is taking a cinematic approach to it. What palette of instruments you've decided to set yourself up? Are you using a large orchestra with this? You know, how many other battles are there throughout? Are you going to repeat certain themes or patterns and stuff like that? But I think that anytime a composer is asked to do you're in a spotting session, and it starts off with all the guys looking at each other, looking forward, and all the things are coming at them, and there's only 50 of them and 5,000 of these guys, and you're getting ready to, you know, lay waste to whatever you can, and, you know, you've drinking the super sauce, special sauce, and you're going for it. You're going to get that, you know, marching pattern of sorts. There's different ways to do it, you know, big cinematic toms or taiko drums, you know, and you're going to set a dark pattern with that, with lower arpeggiations and very bold horn sections that have a lot of abrasive super forte rips to it, and you know there's always that rock, and then you'll weave in there in some cases, depending where this is in the game, you weave in some of the le motif or the theme of it somewhere through it, you know. In this case, I don't know anything about the game, but it seemed to me like they made it to the battle, and at the very end, like I said, he's like standing on a pile of his of bodies, if you would, you know, with the flag, and he got this far, but he looks back and his friends are dead and blown up, or maybe one is all Molepo or something like that. But yeah, I mean, that's just kind of a thing you go to. You go to it. If somebody was to come up to me and say, Jeebs, here's the scene that we're doing, we need to, I would have done something similar to that, you know. But it's that bottom end. It's the rhythmical aspect, you know, of arrangements. You know, you know, after you set the darkness and the tone of the rhythm, you know, the rest of the, you know, heaviness comes from just whatever supporting instrumentation you may have. And I am being fairly general about that, but, you know, if think about any of your favorite movies or games that has this rush to the top of the mountain or plow through the, you know, the enemies, Game of Thrones all the way to, I don't know, Gumby. All right, maybe not Gumby, but I'm just saying. Blah. Sorry. Yakoya, how are you? I think you were here early on in the stream, and then I think you may have had to dip. Nonetheless, let's see what. Oh, guess what, guys? We're gonna. We will. We talked a little bit about ska, and so now Yakoya is bringing to us some Streetlight Manifesto, and this is called Point Counterpoint. And so no message here. So let's just go. This is Streetlight Manifesto. All right. There you are. How you doing?
I got a gun in my hand, but the gun won't cock. My fingers on the trigger, but that trigger seems locked. I can't stop staring at the tick-tock clock. And even if I could, I would never give up. With a vest on my chest,
I'm waiting for it to grow. We know we're going there, right?
Can't believe I'm dying with my song unsung. And if and when I die, won't you bury me alone? 'Cause I'll never get to heaven if I'm singing this song.
There it is.
If there was something wrong, would you be all so strong? Would you do what
Oh my God, that rhythm section.
I like to think I would, you know, I like to think I would. But I can guarantee that what you see is not reality. Never doubt she makes a point to make it get a boy. She said it's easy, but in the end you have no choice. And you know, it's not just the way that it goes. You said it right, man, that it's just the way that it goes. The days and the days that seem like forever.
This is where these guys stand on their own island.
From a zoo all below. I try not to be long, but I don't want to get this started. I was a kid who never cared about the little things. Don't even bother, 'cause I'm tired and I'm sick of it. And every time she makes a point, I make it get a boy. She said it's easy, but in the end you have no choice. And you know, it's not just the way that it goes. Said it right, man, that's just the way that it goes.
That bass player, man, come on.
I got a gun in my hand, but the gun won't pop. And my fingers on the trigger, but the trigger seems locked. And I can't stop staring at the tick-tock clock. And even if I'm good, I would never give up. With the vest on my chest, the bullet in my lungs. I can't believe I'm dying with my song unsung. And even when I die,
Guitar player's killing.
I'm singing this song.
I love the horns and the vocal marriage here that we heard in those last two turnarounds.
If I did something right, would you do about this fight? Say you were wrong and maybe someone else was trying to right. I like to think you would, you know, I like to think you would. But I can guarantee that what you get is an apology.
Tongue twisters.
We met and never thought that you were that way ever. I let you down, I want to ask you. Take it down a notch and make it Talk it on through. And the days that seem like forever.
Oh, that's right. Less Than Jake. That's another one.
The days that seem like forever. But forever is never enough. I like to sing songs. Promise you won't be long. I thought you'd be long, but I don't want to get this story wrong. There was a chick we never get about the little things. Don't bother, cause I still don't give a shit. And every time she makes a point, I make a counterpoint. Shit, it's easy, but it isn't. You have no choice, and you know. So it's just the way that it goes. Said it right, man. That is just the way that it goes. I got a gun in my hand, but the gun won't cock. And my fingers on the trigger, but the trigger seems locked. And I can't stop staring at the things I'm locked. And even if I'm good, I would never give up. With the best of my chest, the boon in my lungs. I can't believe I'm dying with my song unsung. And even when I die, I will bury me alone. Cause I'll never get to heaven if I'm singing this song. Oh, you don't know where I've been.
I love that part of the riff.
You don't know what I've seen.
I love the sound of the kick on this. You got to know if you know. It's ISO'd. It might have a blanket in it.
So tell me, friend, how's it gonna end when the shit goes down and there's no one left around to get your back? You'll crack, smile, and agree with everything they say. They try to tell you that it's all okay, but it's not in your shot. You're bleeding pretty bad, and you can't stop thinking about the things you never had, like a wife and a kid, and the things you never did. Run around living a life that's empty in the end, my friend.
Oh, listen to that bass work.
No.
I mean, there's still muted guitar back there, but.
You've said.
Yep, that side stick going on for sure.
Oh, and the regrets fill your head. Trust me, I've been there before. I would not wish it upon my greatest enemy. What irony, close friends, but I find you'll have to learn this lesson on your own. So I waited by the phone, but the phone never rang, and I sang so loud, so I wouldn't hear the bang when the bang never came, and I never got the call. Fuck it, thank you, I love you all. So I'm gonna say that we should repeat all that to stay straight, but that's not me.
Ah, these guys kill it.
Cause in the end, I would get better. I got a gun in my hand, but the gun won't cock. And my fingers on the trigger, but the trigger seems locked. And I can't stop staring at the things I'm locked. Even if I'm never give up. With the best of my chest, the bones in my lungs. I can't believe I'm dying with my song unsung. And even when I die, I will bury me alone. I'll never get to heaven if I'm singing this song.
Ah, that drummer. Come on. How badass was that, everybody? Come on. That was so good. The rhythm. Well, you know, when it comes to Streetlight Manifesto or any bands of that same kind of, what do you call it, God tier style musician playing, rhythm sections are just so fire, and they're so freaking creative, and they're tight, freaking tight. The guitar player and the bass player holding down a lot of, like the guitar player with a lot of his picking patterns or chord, a lot of the chord strumming was just so square, and the drum and the bass player, all of them, and the drummer, every single one of them, they were just absolutely monster. Actually, the one thing that, even though vocally, that's a lot to chew on, is when you're talking this fast, when you got to do that, you know, that's a talent in of itself. But you know, we're staying pretty square with that. While the rest of the arrangement is I'm sure they wouldn't have appreciated me saying it that way, but I'm sure they would understand as musicians just the intensity of the basic supporting tracks of that is so freaking musical and so technical. Yet they're considered the really fun little stage, you know, ska band. But when you sit there and you just listen to them, if I don't mean to say it that way, that doesn't sound right, a little ska band. I think, let me redirect that energy. I think if you're a fan of any ska style music, you know of the quality of musicianship that you're getting involved. You cannot pull that off without having a particular style of quality of musicianship. I think that's the best way to Was I doing Bugs Bunny? You know what I'm saying? I think that's the best way to put it, is that you just know if you listen to ska and you're a big ska fan that the musicians are insane, and you can't pull it off unless you have incredible meter and rhythmic timing and very unique bouncy arrangements. That's what I'm talking about. Bakoya, thank you so much. Sorry about the bad impression, I'm just saying. That's the way I feel inside. The ADHD, Bakoya, the ADHD in me, when I listen to music like that, that pretty much is the soundtrack to most of my dreams. So that goes to show you how mental I am when I'm not asleep. So that to me was like a soundtrack of me in REM. That's what it felt like. Oh, shit. Anyhow, next up, let me refresh my data really quick. Next up, we have the drive. No, I'm sorry. I blew it. Stand by. Next up, we have Halafanboy. Halafanboy, how are you? Are you here? Halo fanboy. I'm sorry. So grim. Oh, hi, Makuzia. I see you just slid in. How are you? So let's see what Halafanboy has here. We're going to be doing some anime. Super cool deal. And then we have Driver coming. I'm sorry, Driver, you are. I flippitied. I flippitied yippitied, but you're happening. So yeah, Halo Fanboy wants us to do a song of, I think I've done something from this before. I think as recently as last week. Naruto Shippuden. Shubidubop? Naruto Shippuden. The name of the song is Burial. And the message is, okay, so I can't do it. Just listen to the music. Cries in a corner. Okay, I don't know what that means. But how do you say it? Shippuden. Shippuden. Thank you. Here we go. Creepy cinematic here. I wonder if that's part of the motif. Da 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 da, or something like that. Sounds like kind of an ominous scene they might be writing for here. Oh, nice shift in the arrangement. Na na, the pedal. Da 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 da. Da, da. Wow, what a great build out. Something lighthearted or beautiful happened here in the scene. Coming from something dark and miserable or sad. Almost like a raising of the spirit or soul, or celebrating something like that. Oh, there it is, the resolve, right into that minor. This almost seems like a moment of despair, heavy despair. Goes in on that minor third really late in the phrasing. Beautiful emotion right there. That last note, that standalone cello, that was kind of like maybe a closing. So, closing of an eye or closing of that particular part of the chapter or the life of the individual. I then actually looked at the title of this. It says Burial, which it didn't say here. So now that all kind of comes together on how the beginning was kind of this sad realization. It was something that was heavy, it was dark. But then at some point, it actually got a little emotionally, I want to say a little more positive in the arrangements. Maybe it was a realization that, you know, the spirit of this person or whatever, the character, whatever, is moving on. And then after that, there's a realization of loss and grief. So to me, that's what the arrangements was telling me. When I think of it as a composer, I'm saying, well, gee, if I was to write something like this, what kind of a scene would I be? How would I interpret that music? And that's what it sounded like. And then now that I realize this is a burial, it kind of now really kind of sews that together. The emotions through everything that went there, through that. It was a beautiful track, you know. I realized a little later, Bokoya, that it said that I was looking at, oh, it's burial. I think also, too, didn't I listen to a track from Naruto on the last stream as well? I think, as a matter of fact, I took a snip of it and I posted it up on the RPGeebs YouTube channel as well. So thank you so much for that. I appreciate that. And I'm sure so did the rest of the gang here. Stand by for a second, everybody. The Driver, and then Makuzia, and then that Zig guy in those particular orders. Let's continue on. So, let me see here. The Driver wants us to listen to the Gaslamp Killer featuring the Heliocentrics. Hooked on Classics. Okay, so maybe this is a cover of the original Hooked on Classics, Driver? Is that what this is? So, let me see here. There's experimental music, and then there's whatever the Gaslamp Killer's got going on. After discovering one of his songs in Grand Theft Auto 5, I dove deeper into his discography and found this track. One of his tamer ones compared to his usual stuff, but it stays in my head for hours. I particularly like the clav guitar keyboard melody doing the classical piano exercise, as it reminds me of back when I was learning piano. All right, nothing like getting some nostalgic in there. Nostalgia. All right, the driver, we're doing this. Here we go. Bye, SB. You're right about the cloud. Yeah, I'm loving the drums on this registration. Very psychedelic experimental. I give you that, like you said. The great thing about that clav too is that there is a delay on it, but it's staying in mono. So it's a real head trip. Take that back. There isn't a delay on it as much as there's a really short spring on it. Maybe with a little bit of a slap delay. Oh, those drums. I mean, of course they sound unique because they've got them engineered the way they do, but man. A fade, I tell you, a fade. What a great cruisy ass track that was. I'm so down with you on having that kind of, you know, the clave thing obviously was the whole meat and potatoes of the whole thing for me. I was listening to it along with you. And it just had a really nice, super retro vibe in the engineering, as I said earlier. It sounded like it had, like, I thought it was delay at first. It had a lot more like a, maybe a pre-delayed spring reverb on it. The drums, though, there was something that I could have been like, God, it's just, I'm wondering that they process a sample or something, but I've got to say that I'm going to believe that that's live drums, that they just EQ'd and did what they did. Maybe even just a 3-mic setup. Could have been an overhead snare and kick on that, the way it sounded. But the track had a full, I'm sorry, I know some guys were talking about the drug thing in there, but yeah, it definitely had like an Alice in Wonderland kind of tailspin vibe in it, like if you were tripping out. You know, kind of like a gap between you're at your peak of your high and now you're going, oh, okay, I'm chilling out now. Love the track. I thought it was really killer. Hang on for 1 second. What did he say here? Give me a second. Rockstar makes the GTA games. They have the radio station. Oh, I see. That's right. Right, I've noticed that, Retro Gamer. That's the one thing about GTA that I've learned is that the radio stations can be changed, which is super cool beans. That was wait. I'm reading the driver's comment. The artist also such definition, use of words. Of course, why not? That's what I'm talking about. Okay, next up, Makuzia. How are ya, Makuzia? I hope you're doing well. Happy Aloha Friday to you, and always thank you so much for your kind donation. Makuzia says, this is a cover of a 1980 track from a Japanese electronic band, Yellow Music Orchestra, arranged for a marching band scene for this anime. And the anime is Hybike, Euphonium. And the name of the song is Rydeen. So, all right, Makuzia, thank you so much. I can always tell when Makuzia and Lacrimosa, they come in with their tracks, and I can always see when people go yee yip yip that we have some listening hours put in, because there's always something from like that the real music nerds know about. Here we go. Shaft. I'm sorry, the trumpets with the glockenspiel. I love that. Oh my God, that marching snare. Sounds like it's only one, too. I mean, I see that this can be something for a marching band, but it sounds just a little thin in the percussive elements. Like it's only one snare. But excellent collegiate style marching band arrangements. The marimba with the reed section, but then you get the glockenspiel with the horns because it'll cut more. Listen. So you hear the horn section, but you can hear them in the top. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, is it really? It's really a high school marching band playing this. Okay. They sound great. I mean, for high school, all the brass work. You know, and then now that you really listen to it, there is a really nice tuba arrangements going through this. I like how the percussion changed here. We got the snare drummer using more of the stick work. You hear it in the background. And the other percussionist with the cymbal now is keeping the 2 and the 4. Nice piccolo flute arrangement right there. Makuzia, knowing that this is a high school marching band, anybody who knows anything about that kind of performance at a high school level knows that since that's the case, that sounded phenomenal. The whole brass section and stuff through that. I mean, because if you really think about it, I mean, the whole heart and soul of any marching band, next to the percussion, is going to be mostly brass, right? There aren't strings in there and everything else, so it's many different elements. It's all of the tonal structure represented by all the brass work, from piccolos all the way down to tubas and horns and French horns, et cetera, trumpets and saxophones. Then you have the percussive elements, which would be the musical percussive elements, which would be wood blocks, marimba, xylophone, depending on the size of the band, and glockenspiel as well. And the arrangements were great. The arrangements had that big band, marching band vibe. I would have loved to have seen what the scene would have played behind it, but it sounded fantastic. Those high school students played the crap out of that. So, but I mean, when I did say that it sounded like the percussion section was a little thin, had nothing to do with the musicianship. I just would have figured that if it would have been a marching band representation, that maybe they would have had the drum corps in there. So it only sounded like there was one snare playing. Maybe that has something to do with the character or something in the anime, just to kind of thicken out that back end a little bit, the snare work, and give it a little bit more of the marching band kind of vibe. But I thought it was great. I love the fact that it's fun to identify when orchestrators and composers, when you use different parts of horn sections, how you're going to marry it up with particular kinds of mallet-driven instruments. So when we had the high end of the piccolos and the flutes, right? You had the medium tonal zone covered by the wood blocks, or was it the marimba? When you had it the other way around, you had the low horns holding the melody. You had the glockenspiel. You had the higher bell sounds, accenting at the top of it. So that's always fun. I always go, oh, yes. Oh, look what he did. Oh, yeah. So that was a fun listen. You could tell, look at me. I'm like a little kid. I'm like, yay! So, sadly, the scene only had the first 2 minutes of the track. Oh, I see. I see. It would have been nice. Maybe I'll see if I can't find that scene on YouTube. Stand by. I'm getting a text. Stand by. I can answer that later. And that's my doctor with some test results. I just got through saying to you guys, everything was good. Now he's saying, George, we have your test results. You just got to love that, right? When you get that email, you don't want to look at it. And depending on what HMO or what, mental health. What is this? It's Freudian slips. Healthcare, service, they'll email you and say, you have test results. And they give you the test results, but you can't read what the hell it is until the doctor does it. So you sit there and you copy and paste certain things and put it in there and you go, oh my God, I need a penis reduction. I only need the one, or something like that. I don't know. It's hard. No pun. Whoops. I'm just going to stop there because everything I just said was gibberish, boo. Let's just keep going. Oh my God. Next up, I'm just saying. Yeah, right, bruh. Sorry. Give me a second here, guys. Next 794. How are you? I don't know if you're still hanging around out there in the back somewheres. Let's see what we got here. Next 794 wants us to listen to Sonic Adventure 2. And the name of this track is City Escape. He's got no message. Let's just get right into it. All right. Ooh, I like this. Sounds a little bit like Claudio, doesn't it? From Coheed and Cambria. Oh, that bass sound and that bass player is crushing. Almost sounds like there's a little ring modulator on the bass somehow. I like how the rhythm guitar is mimicking the 2 and 4 of the snare. I would say this is more pop punk, is it not? You guys help me with this. Oh yeah, Lisa, you're right. Sounds like it could be. What a great hook. Ha! What a kick-ass track. So Sonic Adventure 2, I'm familiar with Sonic even though I only have the driving game. Does anybody know what was happening during this music? Or it sounded like it might have been like a title opening or something perhaps. I don't know, but it was made by Sega. Okay, thank you. Yeah, there was a little bit of ska in there. It was, but I like more a little. It was a very, very gentle ska, almost like it was a gentle punk, gentle ska. But it definitely had, you know, that pushy, throaty sound that was, you know, the vocalist and the bass player. You know, this is when you're trying to escape the city. Oh, I see. Follow me. Makes sense. And I also like the melody on this one. It was upbeat and happy. And it wasn't like you're trying to get, even though if you might be trying to get away from a bad guy or something, it was really super positive because at the end of the phrasing, the melody kind of lurched into a major third instead of, you know, staying down in its minor, or it had a choice. Da-da-da, instead of da-da-da. You know, so I like that. It was very go get 'em. Let's go. You know, and but the sound of the bass I loved. It had a lot of ballsy to it. A little bit of a scroll stuck in the zipper kind of taint to it. Kind of tone to it. Oh fuck, whatever. Just stop, please. Must fight urge. Sorry. I know it did. That's not. It just didn't come out. Just forget it. Just didn't happen. Just did not happen. Right. I know. Right. It's not in the gutter. My mind is not in the gutter. Oh my God. That Zip guy. You're up next. So let's see what you got. This is a band called the Zenith Passage. I tainted the stream. Ha ha ha. That's a good one. Okay, I got you. I got you, man. This one is called Lexicontagion. That's the name of the song. It's by the Zenith Passage. And his message is, if you want to really have fun play, follow the time sig at any given point in the song, and you'll most likely be wrong. Ooh, the gauntlet has been thrown down by that Zig guy. Amon and all you meter freaks or time signature freaks, let's see what he's talking about here. This was the challenge here. Ready, set, and go. Oh, it's in 2742. 98. Nope. No, that's not. Wait. Wow, what a great tone on the guitar. I love it, the clarity on it. Great engineering on the voice, man. I just love how they do that. Last beat. It's like if Gollum opened up a tech metal, death metal bar. Ooh, purdy. Beautiful reverb. Tone of the guitar is like a piezo. Piezo. That special plug-in in electric guitars. This is great. This is beautiful. This is badass. Very musical. Listen to what the bass is doing, man. Nice harmony on the mutes. So, no two ways about it. This was released a year ago. So, very much on the top shelf of really technical engineering and guitar tones, very clean and crispy and very manicured tones. Musicianship's insane. Once again, a billion times I'm going to say it in the past, I'll say it again in the future. The talents that are well beyond what it is that some of these musicians are in the bands that we know them to be in, whatever metal representation or something, what it is they really pull from a whole different toolbox of experiences and education to get some of the riffs that we heard in there. The time, I couldn't get, you're right, I couldn't get the time. After a while, I just said, I'm not going to count anymore, and I'm just going to get there and soak in it. That middle section where they glide into that ambient work with the chord changes and the lead work that guitar player did was just diamonds in the sky. I love it when they do that to me. Now, the only thing about it is that the lead vocals, which, you know, I don't have a problem with that style, but sometimes it gets to the point where that performance becomes nothing but sound design to me. You know what I mean? Because I can't understand it, and it has zero tonal value. Of course, maybe the band members might argue with me that somewhere in there's a key, a note that is represented in the scale of it. But, you know, when you get down to that thing, it's just more of an agitated sound design element in the track. Of course, it has lyrical value, but then I wouldn't know it unless I could read it, right? But also the technical engineering on that, though, is still extraordinary. In my brain, when I hear them do what they do, you know, with the engineering and stuff like that. Yeah, texture, that's a better way to put it as well. In my brain, I go, how are they doing that? What are they doing there? Are they running that through a doubler? And then are they using maybe a harmonizer, a pitch harmonizer? Not in the main performance. I'm talking about when you might sidechain that out or send it out, you know, through a, you know, a sidechain, a bus and something. You got all this tricky shit going on there. It's like they took the original, they still have the original here, but then how do you get that stereo imaging with that deeper, growly or gnarly, ballsier part of that tone is just, you know, what I said earlier in the stream. It's part of the nuanced magic, I think, now that is now a part of all music, right? Or in a lot of genres. It's like somewhere in there you have to have, you know, an Academy Award-winning moment for the engineer to do the trickery that they do in sculpting. You know, I don't know why I just did this. I just decided I would do this, you know, because this would, I think, what it called for, you know, the sculpting. I'm sorry, the drugs are wearing off. Anyhow, that's what I'm saying. The musicianship was mental. Absolutely mental and everything. So yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Jappy, are you here? Because it is your turn, Jappy. And Jappy wants us to listen to a band or an artist named She. And the name of the song is Music Like This. And I think this dono didn't get through last time. This is a Finnish electronic artist using modern tracker software. Well, if it didn't get through last time, maybe it was uploaded and we didn't check it out or something. But if you've done this once, asked for this before and I've done it, let me know. And then I will owe you a dono if I've done this twice. Of course, I'll find out because I'll see if I recognize it. But here we go. Ta-da.
I make music like, it sounds something like, I go straight for the, I make it sound.
Nope, not thinking I heard this.
I make music like this, it sounds something like that. I go straight for the beat, I make it sound bad. I make
Did we?
music like,
I can't recall.
it looks something like.
Okay, it's a short song. Let's listen to it again. Jappy, I owe you one.
I make music like,
I don't know if it's dubsteppy.
something like,
Okay, it seems like I've done this track before, but being it's a short track, we'll just continue through it. No harm in listening to it twice.
something like.
Wired in the real world. I can go absolutely any place I want to.
Yeah, there's some of it I
music
recall.
like this. It sounds something like that. I go straight for the beat. I make it sound bad. I make music like. I go straight for the. I make music like this. Something like. Something like. Something like. Something like. It sounds something like.
So apparently I did do this before, but what I will say, now that I'm listening to it again, I don't know if I made the same comment, but it almost sounded like the composer or the vocalist, whoever it was that actually wrote the basic tracks, may have had 4 or 5 patches that were already, you know, pre-sculpted to sound particular ways. And it did sound a little bit more of just more of a percussive performance because they were already chordally triggered. So you hit one key, and it could be a sample of a, you know, flushed out chord with its, you know, dynamic. So if you set that up in a couple of modules, percussively you can go, you know, but instead of it being hi-hat, toms, and stuff like that, it's each one of these samples that are being triggered. So that's why there's that glitchiness to it. In my opinion, that's what it sounds like. Not a bad thing. I'm just saying the technique that's used. And of course, there's a kick snare in there and there's the vocals in there. But I think the backing tracks is definitely that. Guys, I'm going to take a really quick break. I'm still here for the haul. Give me about another 5 minutes. I got to stretch my back. It's cramping just a little bit. I promise I'll turn off my mic. And then I'm coming right back in. So just stand by. And a real quick break. Yeah. I said break. A real quick break. Anyhow, so just give me a second here and let me, you guys are 1 a.m., brah. So let me find you something cool for you guys to listen to again, and I just need to stand up and stretch it out. Let's see, what do we got here? What do you say we go into some Bossa Nova? Let's say. Bossa Nova it is. I'll be right back, guys. All right.